Well, good evening and welcome to Jen Cares, powered by Chosen Counselors. I'm your host, Jen Cares, and the founder of Chosen Counselors, a nonprofit organization that seeks to inspire, motivate, empower, and strengthen individuals and families. Thank you so much for joining us on tonight. I hope that you all enjoyed our February series, Finding Love Where You Are. Special thanks to Tiffany, Kelly, Kat, Todd, Carlo, the Pratts, the Goldsmiths, Therapist Tip, and Counselor Trisha. Most importantly, I hope that you are loving yourself just a little bit more. Whew. So as always, again, thank you all so very much for tuning in. Thank you so much for liking. Thank you so much for sharing, for commenting, and watching again. I truly, truly thank you. Whew. All right. So, friends, you have asked, and it is coming. On Saturday, May 15th, we will host a day of empowerment, and I am truly excited. We have some amazing speakers that are going to empower us. This month, I will be sharing our guest speakers. So tonight, stay tuned. I'll let you know 2 of our speakers. I also have a sponsored ticket. There's some people that really love us that want to sponsor some tickets, and I'm truly, truly grateful for that as well. So be sure to be on the lookout or hear what our keyword is, because at the end, when I ask you, you want to be the first to type that in so you can get that ticket. Okay, but if you don't get that ticket, y'all be sure to head over to Eventbrite. You know, we got bills to pay with this being a fundraiser and all. I got a lot of speakers. We got to give them a little something. So please do head over to Eventbrite and support this event, because we're bringing some amazingness to you every Monday. So please help us out. I appreciate it. Whew, I be nervous sometimes. But wow, we are in the 3rd month of the year, the close of the 1st quarter. And when thinking of March, I wanted it to be a motivational series. I'm all for pushing others to meet their dreams and aspirations. And a thought came to mind, why not? Why not? Why don't we do some things that we should be doing? Why? Why don't we listen? Why not listen? Okay. Why not take the trip with precautions? I know what, the season we're in, but why not leave the situation? Why not shoot your shot? Why not move? Why not apply? Why not love? Why not enjoy? Why not? Why not? Normally, that fear gets a hold of us and it causes us to get ourselves in a box. And then we feel like we can't explore. But this month, I'm going to challenge all of my chosen friends with the why not. Risk can be a positive word. If my chosen friends that know Jesus, if he gave you the green light, why aren't you moving? Now, I have missed the green light sometimes, sitting at a stop sign longer than I should have, thinking it was a red light. We've all had that moment where we took that pause, took that breath, but we got to keep going. Okay? So it's not our quote for today, but I reflected on a quote today by Babe Ruth. It said, "Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game." And my hope is that this month encourages us to step into and embrace our full capacity. So tonight we launch our Why Not series. And tonight, we're going to talk about what's in your toolbox. Then we're going to go into fulfilling your purpose next week. Then the next week, we're going to encourage you to not give up. Then the next week, we're going to talk about starting that business. And then the ending of the Why Not series is going to be that you will know without a shadow of doubt that you can do it. So tonight, our first guest is Marquise Coates. Marquise is the founder of Tools for Success, where they specialize in education, mentorship, and development. Tonight's topic is a play on words. What's in your toolbox? So help me welcome Marquise Coates. Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. How's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Awesome. So thank you so much for joining us. And here over at Jen Cares, we start off with a quote of the day. And today's quote of the day is, "Mentoring is a brain to pick, an ear to listen, and a push in the right direction." Again, mentoring is a brain to pick, an ear to listen, and a push in the right direction. Marquise, can you share, what are your thoughts on that quote?
I actually like that quote. That quote is actually featured somewhere very personal to me. It's actually on our website. And
it is. I might have been spoken.
No, that's all right. Yeah, so I got that quote because it to me, it just sums up what mentorship is all about. And it's definitely an ear to pick, because it's obviously somebody that you can go to, that you can talk to, to try to get advice. I have a mentor. I've had people in my life that I can lean on. Friends, family, things like that. So it's definitely an ear to pick. The ear to listen and the brain to pick. Really, just kind of getting that advice and that wisdom and things like that. So that's really what it means to me.
Awesome. And I thought that would be a great start for tonight, because we want to have that ear to listen and find out something new. What is it? What direction should I be going in? And that's the benefit of having a mentor to help us with that as well. So yes, I do my research. So I stalk people's websites to make sure I'm, in the right vein. I don't want to be off. So thank you so much for posting it on your website, as it helped us out tonight. But chosen friends, as always, I have prepared some questions to guide tonight's topic. But all of my chosen friends, be sure to engage in this conversation by commenting below and asking some questions and things of that sort. So let's get to it. Marquise, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So where did I start? I'm born and raised in Philadelphia. Grew up in Logan section of Philly. Went to school here, high school, college for the most part. So I'm, born and raised in Philly. Pretty much played basketball when I was younger. Played in high school a little bit. Played in high school. Went to college. Went to grad school. So now I'm kind of doing a little bit of everything. I have my nonprofit now. Working with youth in ministry. So I'm just doing a lot of different things as it relates to ministry and passion and youth and things like that. So that pretty much sums it up.
Okay. So in our theme is why not? Mm-hmm. Can you tell us about one of your why not moments? What led you to do some things, or what made you feel like, why not? Let's try it. Can you tell us about experience you've had?
Yeah. So there's probably a few of them. I definitely know that, start my organization was one of them. When I thought about, what I wanted to do in terms of a passion, and what I wanted to accomplish and, how I wanted to give back, I just said, why not? I had a model, had a mentor, who was already doing that work, and I saw the example, and I knew it was something that, I had a passion for and that I like to do. So I just jumped out of there, and then I just went and started, moving forward, doing the paperwork and, putting the necessary steps together to be able to kind of bring it to fruition. And then here we are today. Got
it. So in that process, do you feel like there was ever a time where you was like, maybe I shouldn't do this? Should I keep on doing this? Is this really even for me to be doing? Like, it could be somebody else. Like, why me?
Yes, there was times, with just life, where you feel like, hey, man, life is, overwhelming, or, it's not as fun as, at a particular point in time where you got other things going on in your life. Mm-hmm. And then you just kind of say, hey, you know what? I don't know if this is for me. But then, God, in many ways, reminds you of, why you got started.
Got it. So what led to the birth of Tools for Success? You said you had a mentor and things of that sort. So how did you get the name? What led you there?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I actually I actually got the name originally. The name was going to be called Road to Success. Okay. And I was just, driving throughout Philly, actually, and I was in Southwest at the time. And I was just going on my way to church. And I just saw like a bunch of, brothers on the corner and different things like that. And it just kind of made me just realize that, number one, these brothers need tools. What separated me from them? What made me different? I grew up in a similar neighborhoods, similar circumstances and things like that. So, why was I, why did my situation turn out a little bit different? Why wasn't I on a corner, selling drugs or whatever, and not knocking anybody, but just looking at the dichotomy of the situation. And so I just realized that, I had a passion to help men. I had a passion. That's really where it started off. I had a passion to help young brothers like myself, African-American males who I saw struggling in my city. And I wanted to give back. I wanted to teach them tools. I wanted to give them resources. And so originally the name was Road to Success, because I was like, I've accomplished a little bit in my life. And, I looked at it like a road. And then I was like, I don't know about Road to Success. And actually, I had got business cards printed at the time that said Road to Success before we actually became a 501c3. But then I thought about it, and it just came to me like, what these guys really need are tools. They need actual tangible things, that can help them, skill sets, opportunities, education that could really, the things that help me. So that was kind of really my passion. And then that's when I named it Tools for Success.
Got it. Yes, tools. We're gonna get into that because definitely finding out what tools do we have to be able to even go forth.
Right.
So how does your mission encourage you to keep going? Or what keeps you going for Tools for Success?
I think a number of things. I think it's the people that, support it. I think it's the young people, and just the vision, just being able to, and having that God-given vision to be able to move forward. Sometimes God pushes me to do certain things. I'm a man of faith, so I don't mind talking about, that, but sometimes the Lord will push me to do certain things. And then sometimes they're just, just needs that I see. And if an idea comes up, or even I get inspired by other things. So, I just like seeing the young people impacted and being able to share my experiences, and share the opportunities that I've had in my life. And not just in my life, but that I see out there that many urban city youth don't have. And it kind of fits back into what your topic is, of why not? And I say, to myself, why not? Why can't we bring these opportunities to young people in our city? Why can't we connect them to individuals at a certain caliber? Why can't we teach them certain skills? Why can't they go to college? Why? So, those kind of whys in a way push me to kind of be able to, pursue those answers. And I do that through my organization.
Awesome. So what would you say was your most impactful event that you've had to date?
I think the most impactful thing that we've done so far is our career camp. Our career camp has been pretty powerful over the last, 4 to 5 years. It actually started out as an idea. My mom actually came up with the idea of career camp. We were sitting around talking about it, and she came up with the name, and I was like, wow, that's decent. That's a cool name. And so we all as a board decided that was a good thing. But the main thing was we wanted to be able to give young people an opportunity to connect with resources, businessmen and women, education, get exposed to a lot of professionals, because that's where I come from, that particular background. So I wanted to create a space where we can bring young people off the street, and even just in the local community. Obviously it started in Logan, at the Logan Library, and we just had 5 or 6 kids in the beginning, and we were just teaching them different things. I was teaching them basics of how to dress for success and things like that. And then it just kind of blossomed. And then, now to date, we have a camp, that's hosted at Temple University pretty much every summer. And we have a number of kids that show up. So it's really been a blessing.
Awesome. This is good. I like that because we're talking about what's in our toolbox. So far we've learned that you have to have a passion. You want to enjoy what it is you're doing. You see that there's a need, but then also who's around you, because you said your mom, gave you the idea of the career camp. So that comes sometimes, who's around you that's helping to, feed those tools. Okay. So when was the time that you almost gave up?
You mean on the organization or just in general?
Okay, so whichever way you want to take it, but in the why not realm, whatever you feel comfortable sharing of, when was the moment that you was like, maybe this is not for me anymore? Business or life things, because some may have a business, some may not have a business. But when was a moment that you was like, maybe I shouldn't do this anymore? Maybe I don't need to do whatever.
I would say this year. I mean, last year technically.
I say 2021.
I would say last year technically. Okay. It was just last year was a hot mess, man. You know what I mean? And I say that in the from a colloquial standpoint, but it's just last year was just a lot. Family issues. A lot of things. Transpiring at the same time. We were in a pandemic, and I believe a lot of organizations, a lot of people, CEOs and things like that, felt like, kind of throwing in the towel. I know I have friends and family and people that are in this work as well. So, but, it's just one of those things where you gotta figure out, what you want to do and what your passion is. And God really just wouldn't let me quit, and so, it was times when I wanted to give up, but there was always some sense of encouragement, whether it was somebody saying, hey, when is this happening? Or somebody, an email coming or an opportunity open up, or, things like this, so it was always something where, I was constantly being, kind of pushed to say, this is bigger than you. It's not just about you. You gotta pass this vision on.
So a lot of us can relate for 2020. 2020 was a year like none other. But that's the thing too, of like somebody else pushing you or saying it's greater than you, it's bigger than you. And that gets frustrating. Like, you're like, well, why should I do it? And they're like, it's bigger than you. Well, can't somebody else do it? Like, why does it have to be me?
Right.
But then you do find that joy in it and you want to do it, but sometimes it takes so much.
It does.
So can we talk about that? The pressures of trying to do the thing that you're passionate about.
Right.
When you're really feeling like maybe not me, why not?
Right. So can you repeat that again? I'm sorry.
Can you talk about the pressures?
The pressures.
So there was a lot of pressure and things. So what's the process to really getting through that to be able to say, okay, I'll keep on going? Because even though people reached out to you to say, hey, can you do this, pushing you into your purpose and destiny, doesn't mean that you wanted to do it. So what was the piece that helped you to fulfill those and step in and say yes and not no?
Right. Well, I would say that those things kind of gave me life. Those things gave me life, and they helped me to, kind of get back on my feet. And so, one of those things, of just the passion for, the work. And it's those things that kind of get you excited about life again. And so, when you get those calls, you get those opportunities or things like that, it's like, the juices start flowing again, the excitement comes back. And so those are the things that really kind of push you to keep going and want to pursue the work again. So especially during times like this.
I like that. It gave you life. One of my friends was asking me, they said, how do you do all the different things you do? I say, I wonder sometimes too, but it's that it gives you life. It gives you fulfillment, a purpose. You feel like, hey, I'm needed in this world. I am appreciated. Somebody likes it. If it's just one person, somebody is grateful for what it is that I'm doing. And it's somebody else that's helping me to be grateful as well. So yeah, that's good. Okay, so we have a question from one of our chosen friends. Crystal, she said, who is your best motivators and how do you best motivate people?
I like that. That's a cool little thing. No, I'm just playing. Who is your
over here, Jen Cares?
I know y'all listen. But who is your best motivators? I would say definitely my parents, friends, family, mentors, pastor. I got a lot of motivators. What was the other part of that question?
I'm sorry. How do you best motivate people?
I try to do the same thing that I'm given. I try to encourage people. Hey, man, do what you got to do. Push your vision. Try to inspire them and encourage them. The same way that I'm encouraged. So.
Awesome. So yeah. So what happens when you don't want to hear what your motivators are saying? Does that ever happen to you?
It does. It does sometimes. Yeah, it does. Because sometimes you don't always, sometimes life, just kind of knocks you down a little bit. But, when it's really your passion, you don't mind, it's kind of one of those things.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just asking because we find out what's in our toolbox. So sometimes we like it. Sometimes we don't like it.
That's true.
Sometimes we don't want that hammer anymore because it doesn't, work as good as we would like it to. It's working. We just not using it. So that's good.
Now.
Let me see what Sherry's saying. Sherry's saying whatever God calls us to is always uncomfortable.
Right.
The more you grow, the more he requires. Girl, it's always greater than our hands can do alone. You're talking real nice over there because that's very true. It's always uncomfortable. We don't want to do it sometimes. It pulls us out of our shells, pulls us out of our box.
You can't be lazy.
Can't be lazy. But what if I want to be lazy?
You might miss it. You might miss your moment.
You might miss your moment.
So that's an encouragement. That's a word for somebody.
It is. You might miss your moment if you're lazy.
Don't get me to start.
Now you're about to preach. Wait a minute.
I'm just messing with you. Go ahead.
Okay. So you offer, and I like that you offer these for young men, but do you offer it for others or is it just young men? How can your service?
Yeah, so it's open. Basically, it's open to everybody. So we started out initially just working with young men. That was the passion. But then we decided as a board to kind of just work with all, youth. And so that's pretty much where we are. So our resources, services, everything is open to all youth, ages, race. It doesn't matter.
Oh, right. And I feel like I've read one of your books before. I think I have. It's interesting because it says young men or it says young women, but it's also, I feel like for older or all ages, because having tools for success, whatever age you are, you want to make sure that you are prepared to do the things that you want to do.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think the responses that we've gotten from the books has definitely they've been used, for older people, adults, because the information is universal,
Right.
dressing for success, professionalism, yeah, we're teaching kids that, but these are stuff that adults need to know. That's the reason why I wrote it, because, they have to get to that point. So we definitely gotten feedback from older individuals, grown-ups, adults, who said that they've liked it and, could use it, as well as the young people.
So that leads me to another question. So when we say, like, why not apply for a job? What are some things that I should be aware of when applying for a job? Like, can I just go in jeans and a t-shirt? Can I go with a do-rag on, with my scarf, my pajamas? Yeah. What are some things? Help us out if somebody is trying to further their employment.
Yeah. So, I mean, one of the things that we talk about is pretty much knowing your environment. It's really about knowing your environment. So I try to teach the young people, the importance of knowing your environment, and whatever environment you're in. That's how you conduct yourself. That's how you dress. That's how you, basically present yourself. So if you're going on a job interview and you're working at a bank, then you know that the dress attire for a bank is different than that from a construction firm, right? And I've had examples of this because I've been at opportunities where I went and was overdressed as opposed to understanding exactly what the dress code. But I always try to teach the young people it's better to be overdressed than underdressed, right? So I'm gonna leave that alone. But but the other thing is just obviously having them to understand the power of code switching, and that's a key term that a lot of people know about. But the ability to be able to turn it off, to switch from "yeah, I mean" to "you know what I mean," to switch from my young boy to actually calling somebody's name. So, the cool thing that I get to do is because I've been on both sides. So I love to be able to impact young people in the jargon that they use, but to help them say, listen, if you want to be successful, you're going to have to switch it up. And so that's really what Tools for Success does. We really try to meet young people where they are, but have fun and be able to, show them that you can be a young professional. And that's really what our books are geared towards as well, is teaching young people that, listen, when you go on a job interview, listen, if you're working at a bank or a law firm or an education, things like that, you may not be able to wear Timbs and jeans and your pants hanging down, right? You can't wear your hat backwards and chewing gum talking about, you, what's up? Can I, I'm trying to get the job. You have to go as a young professional. So we try to walk them through those steps.
Got it. So I saw on your website as well that you offer development workshops that focus on looking apart the language to speech and learning the rules and mock interviews. How did that come about? Was that basically from the books, or was that before the books to help through the process?
Yeah, so the workshops actually kind of informed, what we did. We started doing the workshops first. Like I said, we started in the library, a few young men, and we were just teaching them basic skills, how to tie a tie, the right colors for, to wear that a young man's supposed to wear. And that kind of started the process behind, the other things that we did. So the workshop started. They were kind of like our launch pad for a lot of the work that we began to do around professionalism. And then we shifted to that. Then we started handing out the Suit 'em Up Award stuff. I know we'll probably get into that, but, those are some of the things that so it was kind of like God was just, pushing us along the way in terms of, every piece of the things that, he was giving us and that we were doing and how we were trying to impact.
Got it. I want to take a pause for the cause. Crystal says, sadly, some older people still don't know this. I can't tell you how many interviews I've done with some lovelies that they don't know these skills.
Right.
Or the importance of researching a company before you go in for an interview.
That's right.
I did an interview with one young lady. She's like, "Oh, y'all do that? Do you know what we do here, sis?"
Right.
That's right. So that's interesting, and that's really good. So we have a couple questions as well from some chosen friends as well. Sherry said, "What should a young man or woman expect when attending the Tools for Success camp?"
So definitely the opportunity to learn about what it means to be a young professional. They'll get an opportunity to meet various career professionals and all types of fields and representing all types of backgrounds, business, law, engineering. I've really been thankful because we've really had some great guests, speakers and folks that have come in to try to share their story. We also done mock interviews. So young people get a chance to actually participate in mock interviews. We've done college tours. So all of these things are, and we also visited local, facilities and banks and businesses, and we even visited one of the firehouses, fire stations, and so just being able to explore different careers. And so when young people go to career camp, they'll be able to get a plethora of various programming around education and professionalism and career development.
Okay. Another question is saying, do you see your platform extending to an older audience, or at least to young adults?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, we help initially. We do work with young people from ages 13 to 18, some even younger than that, but definitely older than that. We've had youth in our camp that have been over 18, and we also, our books and things like that, our services are pretty much for everybody. We don't discriminate, based on, necessarily, age and things like that. People, we try to help who we can.
Got it.
Our focus is youth, but we definitely try to, we'll be there to try to help as much as we can if it's in the scope of our work.
Okay. So when offering your workshops or the services that you provide, what skills or tools do you find that the attendees already have?
Well, it depends on the population. I mean, some, I don't know. Some kids don't know anything, in terms of like they never knew how to tie a tie. Some kids do. Some kids, do have experience with that. Some don't. Some have heard a little bit about what they should wear, but they may not know everything, but some do. So it all depends on, because we service kids at various levels and backgrounds, and so it all depends. But we teach them the very basics, and we give everybody similar things, but just trying to help them understand the basics. We don't try to get super beyond their head, but we just really try to let them know that these little small things can help make the difference between why you get hired and why somebody else gets hired. And that's really kind of, what we do.
Awesome. I think the first step that, they have is that they at least come, so they want to learn.
Absolutely.
So that's a good thing. Sherry said, what results do you expect to accomplish when mentoring camp is complete?
Yeah, that's a good question. So one of the things that we really try to make sure is that young people, number one, have a better sense of, what it means to be a young professional. So they learn some skills, like we said, everything from, what they should wear in their job interview. They learn how to interview, because we do mock interviews at times. They learn about various careers. They get a chance to get exposed to a number of different industries and things like that. They may learn how to write a resume. We've done that. And so these are all, things that they, once they leave the camp, that they've pretty much, kind of been exposed to. And so, that's really exciting.
Awesome. So Crystal, I'm coming back to you, Sherry, in a second. Crystal said, do you continue to reach out to the youth after they have been in your program?
We don't do it as much. That's one of the, we do it. We do keep in touch, but we don't do it as much. Our turnover rate is, is definitely a lot, because we get youth sometimes that are in high school and they're getting ready to age out, then they're going to college, and then we don't hear from them as much. But, we're looking to do more of that, kind of bringing more youth back. And we do offer opportunities for older youth to work with us and things like that. So we're looking forward to doing more of that and getting more young people involved.
And I will share, even in doing impactful work, sometimes you do hear back from them, sometimes you don't, but that you made a difference, because when they came in, they were one way. They went out, you saw that they were more empowered to continue to do more.
And we've had stories of, that. So we've had stories of plenty of stories, and then, we work with young people, and then they, they say, hey, that helped me. So, that's the powerful part. Very
nice. And that encourages you to keep on too.
Right. Exactly. When you see them progress and all those things, go to college, et cetera. So.
So Sherry said, this is much bigger than Philly. I see this stretching past borders. He needs to prepare for more.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yes.
Yeah, I received that.
I got a couple Sherry's here. Crystal said, nope, I did that one already. Sorry. One more from another Sherry. Well, Sherry Malone, this one. What is your success rate as far as mentoring the youth for success? Do you receive much feedback? Oh, we answered that. Yep. And then they move towards successfully. Yep. You answered that one. Okay. You have another shout out here. Taj said, proud of my cousin. Great work for the youth in our communities. Always a great camp, and the youth leave with value and confidence to succeed.
Absolutely. That's my big cousin. He's doing great work. Shout out Men of Courage and the Empowerment Achievement Movement. And so I get a chance to work with him as well. So he's doing great work with young men as well as so many others. So I know so many good folks that are doing SnapCo. I want to shout out, it's Lydia Robinson, just so many other folks that are doing some awesome work in our community. So I'm just so super proud of them and all the folks that are doing great work, even my old co-workers and everybody. So we're all in this, together.
Very nice, very nice. So everybody had a why not moment, but kept going and is making an impact. So that's amazing.
Right. That's right.
So, and shifting gears a little bit, now we're going to test you a little bit because now we know you work with the youth people, but we got some older, mature viewers that are watching. What are some ways that you would encourage us to enhance the tools that we have to be successful in whatever area it is that we want to do in life?
I would definitely just say, continue to, just grow your professionalism in terms of just constantly, and I won't say constantly, but, try to better yourself in ways, whether it's professional development on your job, try to up, what they say, up your skill set. So, I mean, nowadays, everything is out there. There's platforms for this, you can go online, get this, get that. So I would say, if you're willing and if you want to do that, then yes, you can grow your skill set and add more value to yourself. Whether it's, computer skills, whether it's, just kind of, going back over to make sure that you're still on point. Cause sometimes, you can get in this work and forget, the basics, right? You used to be on time, but now you're not on time, things like that. So I think, always, from the smallest things to kind of the more technical skills, I think that, those things are kind of just things that are fun that you can work on for yourself and always kind of build. And then also building your resume, get those certificates, get those trainings, work on those things that can kind of build your resume so that, when you go for new opportunities, you have skill sets that, that may make you a little bit more competitive.
Got it. So that will also help us to keep our tools sharpened because you can go to school or trade school, college, whatever, it's your cup of tea. But things do change. New programs come out. You have to learn a different format. So it's good to, as you said, get the certifications or trainings to continue to learn.
Right.
What top goals would you say you use the most? What top tools would you say you use the most often?
Do you mean in terms of
to help you be successful? What are the top 3 things that you know that helps you to, one, stay in your why, remember what your why is to keep going, and to just be the best version of Marquise?
Family, prayer, and mentorship, or 3 main. I know that's not the main things in terms of the organizational stuff, which is some of it, but those things are those are the things that keep me anchored. The mentorship is the thing that I rely on, because you need someone to lean on sometimes, to be able to kind of vent, to be able to kind of, get direction and guidance. So sometimes God places those people in your life, to be able to kind of help. And I'm grateful for my mentor, Dr. Proctor, who has been, my mentor since I was, in high school. So a lot of my success, is definitely, in debt, to what I've been taught and how I've been guided by the Lord through those. But then my parents, that's without even saying. My mother, who's my board president, my cousins, family members, so all of those things are really, shout out my cousins in New York, my cousin Kendra, my cousin, Takia and Danelle and my aunts. And I know I'm giving mad shout outs, but anyway, just people just coming to my mind. Shout out my pastor, Pastor Ellis, so I mean, just everybody, everybody plays a big role in your success, and and who you are. People that give you opportunities and platforms, to speak and do your thing and grow yourself. So all of those things are pivotal. So I'm just indebted to anybody and everybody who has helped me in any way, whether it's a platform or service, money, whatever it may be.
Yes, thank you so much for your acceptance speech right there. So family, mentors, and prayer. I think those are great tools across the board of whatever it is people are trying to do. Whether you are close with your family, if you're not close, those friends that become family, because they help you to stay grounded, they help you to stay sane. You can vent to them, talk to them about different things that are going on. prayer, absolutely. And then that mentor that can see some things that you can't see.
That's right.
To help you to stay on the right path. Okay, so we have a couple questions again. So greatest tool to have, we did ask that. Sherry said, how can we donate to your organization? Because this impacts our kids, which also helps the community.
Sure. So yeah, you can give. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing around.
You can make it payable to Jen Cares.
Nah, get out of here. No, so there's a couple of ways. You can actually you can Cash App us. Or I mean, but beyond Cash App, you can go to our website and click the donate button. You can write us a check. So our website is toolsforsuccess.org. We have PayPal links and things like that you can donate to. Like I said, we have we're on Venmo, Tools for Success. I have Cash App, Marquise Coates, that things like that. So those are all ways that you can donate to our organization. And if you have any issues with any of those links or anything, because sometimes I know they've been acting funny, then you can always send us an email and I can give you any direct links that you need to donate.
Okay, so be sure to head over to toolsforsuccess.org. I did put the website up there so that you can see what Marquise is doing in the community. So we talked about the tools. You talked about the career camp as well. You said you offer scholarships. Can you tell us about your scholarships?
Yeah, so we do, the Suitor Up Award, which is it's a different type of scholarship. So it's actually not a scholarship; it's actually an award. And what I mean by that, it's a monetary award where we give youth gift cards in a certain amount, and we partner with K&G clothing store. So we've been doing that for almost 5 years. They allowed us to use their space. It started out as a relationship where I was able to kind of go and talk to the store and let them know the work that we were doing. And we started it because we wanted to give young people the dress attire that they needed to be successful. So it wasn't just the instruction part was impactful, but we felt it was even more impactful to be able to give youth the actual clothing that they need, because some youth they never had a suit. Young men, whether it's not fathers or whatever the situation, and I'm not saying it's everybody, but so the cool thing about this is, and we've been doing for the last 5 or 6 years with the Suitor Up Award, is that we're giving youth the opportunity through our application process, which is almost like a scholarship. They write an essay, they submit their grades and their transcripts, and then we kind of vet it and we look at it as a board and we select students, and then we award them, and then we host the event. And then we give them the opportunity to be able to get a gift card to be able to go into the store. They don't have to pay a dime, and they're able to purchase their first suit, their dress, whatever they may need from a professional attire. And the cool thing about it is our staff is in the store, our board members, as well as the K&G professionals and staff, and they're able to kind of help assist the families.
That's amazing. Because not only may they not own, what in the world? Okay. Right. So they may not have suits or may not even be able to afford suits. So to be able to get that is really impactful to, again, be able to help them for interviews or any professional event that they want to go to, being able to dress it up a little bit. I want to
add here too, because in one of the reasons I thank God for the K&G partnership is because we're able to give youth an opportunity to get, the kind of wear that they need without breaking their pockets,
Right.
We ain't, necessarily, one day maybe we will, but I don't even, buy $1,000 suits, right now, maybe in the future, but we're able to get them, nice, quality, because K&G is a store that has, and many people know what it, has professional attire, even beyond that. But the kids are actually be able to get exposed. We're able to teach them, what are your measurements?
Right.
Do you know your sleeve length? Do you know your neck size? The things that are important for young men if they're going to, be a lawyer, if they're going to. So these are kind of things that I was taught. My father taught me when I was younger. And so these are the things that we want to get back. And as well as the young ladies, my mom, she works with them. She's helping the young ladies pick it out because she's been in the workforce. So she knows what, business attire looks like. She knows what young ladies need to have. And so they really, really appreciate it. And that's one of our great events that God's really blessed us with over the years.
Awesome. So if you want to look into the scholarship, check out their website as well.
Yes.
You got a lot of shout outs over here. You got some people. Salim said, Pastor Salim, actually. Marquise continues to do phenomenal work with the youth. Definitely encourage anyone who has youth to sign up for his camp. My sons are too young, but they'll be there.
That's my brother, man. Shout out Salim Wright. He's an awesome pastor, awesome man of God, his family, Raisha, and everybody, man. Good friend of mine for years. So thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
Sherry said, how can someone sign up for the program? Is there a deadline before the camp starts? When will the camp begin for this year?
Yeah, so the camp is usually around August. Is when we usually kick the camp off. And like I said, we don't know what COVID is going to allow us to do. So it may be virtual. We're not really sure right now, but we're planning, either way. But once we will be promoting that probably, as soon as we know a little bit more, we'll definitely be putting it out there, as well as like the other things that we're doing.
Got it. I'm going to get you, Doc, because people come and visit and they don't never see me. He said, hi, son.
Hey, what's up, Pop? Love you, Pop.
He said, so proud of you. TFS is the bomb. It's not about me. You're right. It's not about me. Sorry. Okay. Just was wondering.
And I do want to shout out real fast. I'm sorry. My cousin Toya, Aisha, Siobhan, everybody who's any way that he's impacted, all my family, cousin Taz. I'm just thinking of people's names, that I just want to shout out. So I love y'all, all my family. My aunt, Tommy, Danielle, all y'all love y'all. Sorry. Dad, Pop, I know you're here too.
Hi, Doc. He said hi, Jen. Thank you, Doc. Okay, so you specialize in job readiness and education empowerment. What about these are so important? The education empowerment.
The educational part.
Or both of them, the job readiness and education empowerment. We kind of talked about the job readiness piece, but that education empowerment. Can you tell us a little bit about that and why that's important? Yeah,
well, I'll just start. The education part to me is pivotal because number one, I'm a proponent of education. Hello?
Is it me? Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Okay. I think I have a glitch. Hello? Marquise?
Yeah, it seemed like we got disconnected for a hot second.
There we go. Go again.
Technology, boy.
No worries.
So I'm a big proponent of education. I think education is a powerful tool, and I think that it's important if you're trying to go anywhere in life. I remember one time I was teaching at my cousin's camp. My cousin Tachi was just on here and teaching the young men about the importance of education, and if, even the trajectory of where you can go in terms of employment based on the amount of education you have. And now we live in more of an entrepreneurial world where I would say that definitely those, there's a lot of options. You don't necessarily have to have, 10 degrees, but you definitely need a high school diploma because statistics show that, you're going to be at the lower the totem pole if you don't have the basic education. And people say, well, why is that? Because people want to make sure that who they're hiring have the capability and the competency to do a job, and so we teach young men the importance of education, why you should at least graduate high school, go to a trade school, find some sense of education. One of the things that I teach the young men without kind of going on too much is the importance of, what a young professional is or what a professional is. And that's a person that has education, skill, or training. So I teach them any three of those things. I say, look at Beyonce, look at all of these artists. I said, some people, whether they're a basketball player, what makes them a professional? They either have education, skill, or training. So you need to have at least one out of the three, if not all three. Education is definitely powerful because that can take you someplace, whether it's, college and people see, okay, this young person has mastered something, but you may have a skill. You may not have gone to college, but you may be good at something. So that's another thing. But you also have to constantly hone that craft. I was thinking, I'm bringing up my cousin again, who's a barber. But he stepped out and also done other things. So there's always different things that you can do. And the other thing is also training. So if you don't have the education, the skill, then you can go get the training somewhere. And we live in a society now where, everything is out there, whether it's online, you can learn how to get, certain things in order in your life, whether it's your finances or whatever, but you just have to be willing to be, get the education. But I definitely promote at least finishing high school.
Yes, definitely at least finish high school. I was talking to someone the other day, and the other person was sharing how they went to school, had degrees, was working on their doctorate.
Right.
And he kind of got quiet. And I was saying, because he's saying he's not, in that field, but he is like doing construction and things. I said, your role is just as important. We still need things to be built. So whether you go to school or you do take up that trade, we still need a plumber. We need an electrician. We need somebody to be able to do those things. So that, that is covered. If nobody's building, we can have another building to go into. And eventually something has to be done. Something has to be repaired. Something has to be restored. So all of those are so needed. So
absolutely.
Education, skills, and training. Very good. Sorry, we had a question over here. Crystal said, what do you believe adds the most value to your program?
I would say all of it's important. I would definitely say all of it is powerful. I think our career readiness has been our track record, or has developed a track record for us in terms of making an impact on a number of youth and teaching them job readiness skills. So I think that, but I think the educational component, I think all of it, the uniqueness of how our vision is kind of compiled, and just kind of the flavor that it has. Every vision has a certain flavor. You go to Chick-fil-A has a flavor. You go to Burger King, that has a flavor. McDonald's has its flavor. So, Tools for Success has a unique brand in what we do. And that comes from myself, and our board members and the ideas, the Dr. Proctors, my mom, my dad, the friends, the family, people who add value to it, and so, that seed of, vision that, God has given me kind of sprouts and it started from the passion, of what we do. And so the education and mentorship, those pillars of our organization, I think are the things that have the impact, because young people can kind of come under our arms and our wings and learn from us, get the coaching, get the teaching, get the exposure, get connected. And that feels good, to be able to make that happen.
Awesome. Todd said 20% of adults with low reading levels are most likely to live in poverty.
Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. That's why education is so important, on whatever level, it is. Like I said, you don't have to go to college necessarily, that's not, but you need to be educated. So,
absolutely.
Whatever that is.
A couple of episodes ago, someone asked me about doing something for youth. And the theme is going to be letters to my younger self, because you go through school, you get through high school, but then there's still some things you don't know. So how important that reading is, how important math is, because we don't get a bank account and we go to a credit union, we're not getting all of our coins. And we want to be able to bring all our coins home. Uncle Sam takes enough, So being able to know those things, that's really important.
Yeah.
And that reading piece is really important now.
Reading.
I'm so nervous for children right now as they are virtually learning, because everybody, that's not their spill. So hoping that they are still learning to read, that they are still maintaining their comprehension rates and not declining. However, unfortunately, some are.
Yeah, especially on these computers.
I open these computers sometimes. That's just me. Doc is saying, what's next for TFS?
Oh, Pop. What's next for TFS?
Sounds like a mentor is pushing you right now.
Yeah, there you go. Right. So what's next for TFS? Well, we have an app. So we have a Tools for Success mobile app. So I'm excited about that. And we're looking at, and I'm really excited about that. And honestly, I want to encourage people, if you're, high schoolers, youth, parents, anybody, to download the app, because the cool thing about it is it's not just an app for Tools for Success. It's a community-based app. We're pushing out information, resources for youth to be able to know what's going on, what the events are happening in the city. And kind of God gave me that idea to really kind of, to put out something where you can have it readily available in your hands, where you can know what, so parents don't, can know where to go for college tours and things like that. So definitely go and download that app. The other cool feature that it has, we just added to it, which I'm excited, and we're going to, is that it has a chat room now, so kids are actually able to go on and connect and meet other students. So really, I'm excited about that. And we're going to be moving a lot of that out pretty soon. So, and it's for everybody. So. So that's one of the things, but yeah, so that's one of the things that we're excited about moving forward.
Very nice. So that lets you know different things that are going on, college trips for students as well as for parents, how they can support and things of that sort.
Yeah, events, you get it, you name it. When the flyer comes out, they can get all kinds of motivational stuff. It's just an app for for youth and parents can get resources. They can know what's going on in the school district. Everything is right there. So go download Tools for Success app.
Can we get that on the website too? Is there a link for that, or where would one?
There's not a link on the website, but but it's downloadable and on Android and in Apple Store. So you can go on either, whether you have a whatever your system is, but you can go on either one, download it. It's free. You don't have to pay anything. It will be up on the website eventually. It's not there. I'm sorry, it's not there now, but you can go download it and please share it. Tell people about it. Spread the word if you can.
Got it. So I would work to get a copy of that so I can share that with your chosen friends, because that seems like a great resource that we want to be able to share with our community.
Yes.
You have another shout out. Mom Proctor said, "Hi, son. You're doing an awesome job."
Thanks, Mom. I love you, Mom. That's my Mom Proctor there.
So Crystal said, "How are you reaching kids during COVID?"
Yeah. I think everybody's trying to pivot and do web this and Zoom that. So that's kind of what we've been doing. I mean, we can't get together as much. So, and like I said, so one of the things, most of our stuff has just been virtual. I mean, even when it first kicked off, we had like a virtual event. And that's pretty much what we've been doing. So, just trying to, keep them engaged virtually, but also, do the other things that we're doing with some of the other features of that we're trying to do with the app and the website and things like that. So, and even with the scholarship that's coming up. So we're excited about that. And I keep saying scholarship, but the Suit 'em Up or Suit Up Award, we're going to be announcing that. And so we're looking forward to doing some fun things with that. So, yeah. And so I do have to go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I wanted to ask a quick question about the scholarship or Suit 'em Up, Suit 'em Up. Right. What are the age requirements for that?
Yeah, so you have to be a junior or a senior in the Philadelphia high school. Okay. So it's primarily in Philadelphia right now. So a junior or a senior, you can be in any public, parochial, any school like that, but you have to be a junior or senior. And we will have that information up on the app within the next, probably within the next few days or so, if not sooner. And we'll put that on our Instagram page and all that information. So you'll be able to get that on the website and be able to have kids, register. And then it'll probably, be in our other tools and things like that. We have the app and things. So.
Very nice. Sorry, one more question. Not one more question. I don't want to lie. For the app though, what age bracket is that for?
The app is really, it's open to primarily youth in kind of like the high school range. Okay. That from ninth grade on up. But we try to put resources out there. We may be changing it, and maybe you go, because we get information about, younger kids and things, and we don't want to kind of, not, put it out there, but we try to focus on what our niche is right now. And that has been kind of like, the high school age student. But it doesn't mean that we don't put anything on there that is beneficial to, 6 to 8, things like that. So we definitely would promote stuff like that.
Very good. Very good.
And hopefully you can, go ahead.
Okay. Sorry, we have another question. You do a great deal of mentoring. Do you think it's easier to mentor high school students or college students?
Wow, good question, Bob. Wow, I don't know. That's a tricky one. Let me think about that.
They're both grown.
They're both. Yeah, both of them had their own challenge. I mean. I like both, honestly. I like the younger kids. The high school students, because, they're still impressionable. They're looking up. You can but they can be, they can be a little, I won't say a mess, but they high school students.
I hope none of your students is watching this. You just call
no, I'm just playing. But no, seriously, the high school students that we mentor, which have been great. We've dealt with a lot of, and that's why I said it's a wide range. So you have, the high school students who, and when I say that they're a mess, meaning like in a funny way, like, because I've been there, so I know what that's like, and we're able to help shape and mold and guide them. Not that they're bad or nothing like that. So that's, so the high school students, they have different needs than the college students. The high school students may need more direction because they're trying to get to college. They're trying to, they don't know where their life is turning. They're trying to figure it out. They're impressionable in a different way but they don't necessarily always have the tools, to even, get the basics of understanding, what they should be doing in life at this particular time. They're 17, 18 years old. So they're just getting their feet wet. So introducing them into to people that we do opens their eyes and gets them excited. In terms of, seeing the possibilities of what they can be. So I would say that the younger kids have different needs, which are more of kind of, but I think they're both really similar. I think the college kids, the only thing different with the college kids is they're older and they're a little bit more mature. And so their needs are different, but they still need guidance, particularly those who I mentor young men. So they still need guidance. They still need help, support, all kinds of stuff, advice, career guidance. So they still need those supports.
Got it. So mentoring college students, are you still doing that? Because the question is, how can a college student reach out to you if they need support?
Yeah, well, I mean, I work in college, so I work, for university. So, so, I mean, I'm in the college space. So, I mean, anybody, you could definitely just reach out to me, the same way, through email or whatever, contact information. I definitely don't, I don't discriminate in terms of, where a student is necessarily. I mean, I do the college mentor more so in my work because I work at Villanova University. So doing that work as of my job, but I'm also doing it because I love it, So I mentor. I have a program called WISE that we do for young men that was started. And I kind of, was able, one of the ladies that works at Charisma Presley, who's one of the assistant directors at the time. And when I was able to get the position at Villanova, shout out to Charisma, we were able to, have that platform that, where we're able to bring college men of color, particularly at a Villanova University, and give them supports, bring in, professionals like some of the men that came on tonight, the Tajas, Dr. Proctor's, different people, and have them come in, and speak to our young men. We even did a barbershop initiative where my cousin who was on here earlier, was able, and other barbers able to come on and mentor young men and cut their hair, because going to a college and you're out of town, you may not know where the barber is and you got to be fresh. Right. So, that kind of thing. So just little small things like that. And I know Dr. Proctor does the same thing. So just learning from his example and from others and my dad and parents and my mentors and pastors and different things like that, I've been able to take that model, and even from my church, even from the youth ministry, shout out Pray Youth Ministry, Mr. Crystal, all those good people. So even taking that example and being able to impact young people in our own unique way.
Got it. Lydia said, a former student of mine was greatly impacted by the Suit Him Up Her awards. Way to go, TFS.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we did. Thank you, Lydia. Thank you so much. We did our Suit 'em Up awards. We do it every year. We've been doing it for 5 years. And so it's good to have young people that are impacted by that. I mean, we've been giving out clothes, all that good stuff. So it's just been a blessing. And so I'm really grateful for that. Thank you.
Got it. We have one more question from Sherry. She said, how are these students selected? Do they come to you? Does your organization reach out to schools? How do you get connected?
So it's marketing. I think a lot of it is marketing, word of mouth. People hear about it and they say, oh, I want to sign my, son and daughter up or whatever. So that's usually really how it happens because, we just usually just marketing and people just hear about it. And then, next thing I know, then we sign students up.
Got it. I saw the quote and I always use it now since I've seen it. It was saying how you introduce me and I'll do the rest. So that's what marketing is. So today I've introduced you to Tools for Success. So he has done the rest to show you that it is a valuable resource for students and families. So be sure to share this information, look it up if you could benefit from it, or share it with somebody that you know.
Right.
We all know somebody that would benefit from it. So I'm laughing, or I was laughing at your shout outs because you listed a lot of different people. It's not a bad thing.
Right.
So it goes back to the piece of when I was saying who's around you. Because you find out that it's not me doing it by myself. I have so many different people that are really helping to keep my arms up, to keep me moving, to keep me doing things. And sometimes then why not? We really have to look around. Even when I started Chosen Counselors, like, who's going to help me to do this? I can't do this by myself. It was people that were around me that also believed in what it was that I was doing. So when you're, pursuing different things, check out who's around you. Now, again, use discernment and wisdom, because if they don't mean you any good, or they're going to get jealous and pull you down and not push you up, then maybe you don't want them around. But really, these people, he said all these different names because these different people have had a different part to help him to continue to do what he's doing in his writing. Finding out who is around you is really, really important.
Right. Yes, you're right about that. And all those people, and there's names that different people that I could still say, I even think, just so many, pastors and friends and folks that have helped me along the way, giving me opportunities. I was just Pastor Bishop Darnell, he helped me, even being on his platform, being able to speak at his church, just different platforms and opportunity, not just them, but different pastors. I mean, I can go down the list, Pastor Terrence Ellison, all, so many, and I'm just grateful. I believe in acknowledging that, I know people like, but I believe in acknowledging. I never try to take all the credit, because I know where, my help comes from. I mean, so I appreciate that. I appreciate the opportunities. I don't always get a chance to say it, but I appreciate it.
You just tell me to come watch this. You tell me to come watch this. So we talked about, having that passion, knowing who's around you, how, pursuing your goals and dreams gives you life, and then exploring different options, because one way might have worked, one may not have worked. What's something that you may have tried for Tools for Success that wasn't as successful as you wanted it to be?
Oh, wow.
And also, did you share a keyword?
Did I say, I'm sorry. What's that, the keyword?
What is the keyword?
The keyword is success.
Oh, okay.
The keyword is success.
Okay, so another question.
Okay, so what is something that didn't work? Or that tried to work that didn't work? I don't know. I'm just really thinking about, because most of the time, listen, that's why you have a board, because we try to we try to make sure, and I have people that don't mind telling me like, you know what I mean? So, I really, honestly, I don't know. I'm trying to think about what didn't work. Somebody help me out, Doc. I ain't trying to put our stuff out there, but I don't really know. I'm trying to think of what.
Okay, so I asked the question in the vein of, sometimes we explore things, and because one didn't go how we thought it was going to go, we feel like maybe we shouldn't do it. So I'll give an example.
Okay.
You have one, or I'll give an example.
Yeah, I have one. So I ain't trying to be talking about, no, I'm just playing.
You're supposed to be encouraging.
I'll share. Yeah, we, so this is just from a business day. So yeah, we did an event earlier in the pandemic. I'm not gonna say it was a failure. It wasn't a failure. It was like we did like a dance thing that we were gonna, try to, and I just think it was just kind of quickly, put together. I mean, it was still nice, but we didn't get the marketing out like we wanted to. And I felt like a little bit of it, now my board probably wouldn't say that, but I didn't feel like we had the attendance and things like that we wanted, because sometimes you just want this big attendance, but we did it, and that was the thing, we were able to, and I think if we would have did it a different way, and maybe it was our lane, maybe it, but we tried it, and I think it, it worked out for what it was. It was very successful. Shout out to our DJ and board member. I'm just
DJ 215.
I'm trying to think of what to call him, but yeah, DJ 215. Shout out, go follow him. My brother Jay Brown, who's a tremendous help, and I'm sorry to our organization, and a good brother of mine who works with our organization, who even helps with all the work that we do. So shout out him. But yeah, so we did different programming and stuff like that. And so I would say that was maybe an instance. I'm sure there's others, but that's one that just came right to my mind.
Got it. Yeah, and again, just want to share that sometimes, as amazing as things are 5 years from the first day, things do happen where you feel like maybe I shouldn't do it anymore, but you don't want to give up. One of our events we do is a back to school family night. The first year was amazing, a whole bunch of kids. That second year, I went to a different neighborhood. They wasn't ready for that. I'm like, maybe this is not good. I had all this extra pizza. I'm giving it out to people on the street and things. But then that next year, I went back to the right neighborhood. So knowing where to go to. So again, it happens, but we move forward with it.
Absolutely.
Doc said expanding our services from just men to women.
Yeah.
That's something you're working on.
Yeah, no, and Doc he's right. We definitely, that was definitely something that we did, because Doc actually brought that up, and he was like, we should definitely expand. So my mom has been pivotal on that part as well, because obviously I know the basics of, professionalism, but she's able to have that touch, and not just her, but my cousins and different people who work, aunts, everybody who helps out with that particular part. So, and even Doc and everybody else. So we just try to, expand the vision, because again, it's not just about me. It's about, what everybody can bring to the table. Mom was actually peeking in right now. That's why I looked up. But so everybody who puts their hands to the plow. So I have a dynamic board, and everybody brings a certain skill set. Even like I said, I know I keep going and saying this, but cousins and people who volunteer their time, so it matters to have a family, to have a unit, to have a village that you can count on. Likewise with them, they can count on me for things. So it's that kind of thing.
Got it. So again, tonight's theme was what's in your toolbox. Gotta have that family, the supporters to help you to go forth, to let you know, yeah, that's a good idea. No, that's not a good idea. To help you with that. So my thinking in presenting this series was to highlight the tools that we each individually already have, and that helps us to be uniquely us. So how can we continue to connect those tools? Why should we continue to connect those tools? And you have said these pieces already, but just a summary of it, of what we should walk away with as it relates to being aware of the tools that we have to be successful in life.
Yeah, well, I just say, really realizing the power of tools, the power of tools, like, tools, without preaching, tools give you the opportunity, honestly, and that's why I chose tools, because tools are things that you use for a purpose, and so, like I said, I'm not going to preach, but tools are things you use for a purpose. And so whether it's mentorship, whether it's, job readiness skills, whether it's, books, whatever it may be, you use it because it can help benefit you. So I would just say that that's the main thing, just find those things that can help you on your journey to success. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much for joining us. Any other questions or not questions, but any comments or anything else you want to share? Any more shout outs?
Just thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And shout out everybody that's watching Jen's program, and support her. And thank you for all that you're doing, and God bless you and all that you're doing.
Yes. Thank you so much. So sorry. One more question. So Sherry said, this is just a thought. Have you ever worked with a young man and had discovered a drastic change in him due to seeing a male figure doing positive things?
Yes. I would say, there's been change. We have young men in our program, who come in, and support us, whether it's, working for the program or actually just the services that we provide. And whether it's getting a suit, that they, or, learning skill sets, the young boys, actually crack me up, because, some of the language that we use in our workshops. I remember talking to one of them, and, they were saying like, yo, Mr. Coates, I was using PB and J, and I'm like, that was just an acronym that we had talked about, and that, and what it stands for in terms of professionalism and things like that. So, I mean, little stuff like that. But obviously, the other things are, the things we're able to give them, like the resources. And I think just kind of being connected. One of the things that I know is really important is connection. And I think the young people, just us having the ability to connect to these kids is so important, because when they go on in life, they can still reach back where, God, we're still here. And it's the same things that I've had with my mentors and people in my life. So that connection, being able to lean. I think of one of the young men, Nafis, who's in my program. Shout out Nafis. I don't know if he's watching, but he was in our program as a student, and then he wound up, going on, and we've helped him and supported him. He actually was one of our award recipients last year, because he's so faithful. He's such a faithful young man. He would come, he would be on time. And this was a young man that I would drive home. I would take him, because he was so, he reminded me of myself, his loyalty. And he was willing to come, get on the bus, come down to our camp, help after school, all those kind of, and we've had young ladies do the same thing, shout out to a lot of our students who have done great things as well. So, those are the kind of things that they be kind of, get you, inspired to continue, to want to, have more examples like that.
Very nice. Very nice. Congratulations. That sounds like you're doing amazing work. I have to go check out this app, see what resources are there so I can share that. Sherry said, great job, Marquise.
Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Sherry.
She said, God bless you. Blessings to your future success.
You too. Thank you so much.
Yes. Awesome. So again, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it for, helping us to remember the tools that we have, how we can, enhance the tools that we have by taking some classes for certifications, always staying in the know. And whether you're an education route or a trade route, do something because you want to be able to be successful. So be sure to check him out. You can check out his website at toolsforsuccess.org. Yes. Awesome. Any other questions, chosen friends? They got some more shout outs. They said awesome.
Thank you.
PJ said go Keys.
Yo, Peach, I'm gonna be calling you, bro. I'm trying to be like Peach, y'all. No, I'm just playing. That's my brother. He the man.
Love the conversation. Keisha said awesome. I think I got all of them. Excellent show. Melissa said awesome job. Clapping it up. Did you give them their shout out? You gave everybody their shout outs.
Yeah, shout out to my family. Like I said, my family, my aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters. I know I have so many people, y'all. So my sister, little Aisha, Naya, my brother Fred, my dad, my aunt Sabrina, my little cousin Jalen playing ball right now. Mm-hmm. Just so many, man. My cousin Deja, I just, my grandmother, and shout out my grandmother too. This is not really the platform. My grandmother passed this year, Thelma Bryant. She would be so proud, and we're going to be doing something for her as well. So shout out to all my cousins, Jean, anybody that supports me. I love y'all. And we just, we're going to keep it rolling.
Thanks so much for joining us, Marquise. So tonight we had what's in your toolbox with Marquise Colts. Very, very great conversation. Thank you all so much for joining us. So what was our keyword? If you put the keyword in the comments, because I have a ticket for you for our Day of Empowerment. It's going to be good. Tickets are live. You could go right to Eventbrite to purchase a ticket. But if you know what the keyword was, let me see. Who knows? Type it down and I'll be sure to get you that ticket. We have a winner. Success. That is the keyword. Congratulations. I will be sure to send it to you. Sorry, Crystal. You already bought your ticket anyway. But I will be sure to send it to you. But I also want to share with you 2 of our speakers. Dun, 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 dun. We will have Sherry and our guest from tonight, Marquise. So it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited for our Day of Empowerment. So be sure to head on over to purchase your ticket. You have some time. But that was really, really good. I enjoy knowing what capabilities we all have. We always want to know those things. But how can we continue to enhance and strengthen those things and not get weary? So he talked about that passion. Find something that you're passionate about. If you're passionate about it, you could be successful with it. Know who's around you. Who are your friends, your family, your supporters that can help you to stay on that right path. It gives you life. It'll encourage you to keep going forth every day and then being able to explore your options. So again, I thank you all so very much for joining us. Do not forget our quote of the day. Mentoring is a brain to pick, an ear to listen, and a push in the right direction. Today was really, really great. Let me see. One more announcement. Just next week, we will have Fill Your Synth. We'll talk about fulfilling your purpose. So be sure to join us next week for Fulfill Your Purpose as we go to our second episode of our Why Not series. I thank you all so very much for joining us on tonight. I love you all for real. Until next time.